Hey, everybody, welcome back to Cover Down, episode 6 of season 1 of many more seasons to come, right? Just got to give it that qualifier. Today, we're going to be talking about some upcoming awesome stuff that we're doing with the organization, and we're going to ask each other some hard questions, or, well, our producer is. So stay tuned. It's going to be a fun show. Today's episode is dedicated to Pops, who is a instrumental person within the community, especially with the Guardians, who unfortunately this last week we lost.
Yeah, unfortunately.
The only positive note to that is that he's reunited with his son, who was a massive inspiration to him for us.
Yeah.
You knew more Pops more than I did. I don't know
Yeah.
if you want to talk about him a little bit more, but for those who want to know a little bit more about Pops outside of what we talk about on this episode, we definitely have an interview that we did with him. Doug sat down, and he was a fantastic gentleman and a true inspiration to being part of the community and what we do. So,
Yeah, Pops was he was a Gold Star father. So his son was killed in action. I believe it was in 2011. And for the last 12 years, he's been so ingrained in the veteran community. It's just his support has been massive. And he's a Guardian rider, and his motorcycle was dedicated to his son's unit.
It's a
Six
beautiful
Brave
bike,
Men.
too.
And it was from front tire to back tire. It was just dedicated to his son and his son's unit, and it's beautiful.
yeah,
bike.
we're
Absolutely
not
gorgeous.
talking stickers and stuff. We're talking custom paint job.
Yeah.
Looked like something coming out of the West Coast.
Yeah.
It's crazy, beautiful bike that was really dedicated to a purpose.
Yeah, and we actually had the honor. So Pops always rode in our polka run, and there was one year that he didn't ride, and he was in his truck, and then talking with Nico, who was one of our guests on our show.
Yep.
He was like, Pops' bike is down and out. We need to get it fixed. How can we get it fixed? But we wanted to be a surprise to Pops, so what we did is we brought it to the organization. I spoke to everyone, and everyone's like, pay for it. Let's go. So what Pops didn't know is that he was calling the shop, and the shop was like, yeah, we got to order parts. It's going to take 2 or 3 weeks. And, they're giving him the runaround. And if anyone knows Pops was not...
No.
He did not censor anything, right?
What do you mean you're waiting on parts?
Yeah. So Pops had a few choice words, but he understood, though, because of his bike, that it would take a while to get some parts.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we were on the other end of the phone line saying, overnight the parts, don't tell them what's going on. So then the Guardian Riders and a bunch of members of the community went out to Two Brothers, and we all met up. And then we brought Pops outside, and the guy who fixed the bike comes screaming down the road on his bike, pulls up, and it was the look on Pops' face was just, it was like being reunited with part of his son.
Yeah.
And being able to do that for him. It was just such an honor to be able to make that happen. So
Yeah, it's a shame to lose him, but he left behind a pretty big legacy.
Yeah.
Right, which I think was his goal.
Yeah.
In the end.
yeah.
So we'll post a link up somewhere in the heavens here for you guys to click on, where you can go watch the interview. It's a very touching interview.
Yeah, it's on our Facebook page. It's also on isn't it? Didn't you put it up on the YouTube channel?
It's on the YouTube
yeah, it's
channel.
on the YouTube channel.
Might be on the website too.
Right. So so the great thing about that video is we worked with New England Black Wolves out of Mohegan Sun.
Yep.
They wanted to do something for Military Appreciation Night, the Hometown Heroes game. So I pitched the idea of interviewing Pops because he's a Gold Star father, and his son gave the ultimate sacrifice. And then they were like, yeah, let's do it. Where do you want to do the interview? So we worked it out with Mike's famous Harley Davidson in New London.
Awesome place.
when we were doing the interview, they were like, we can only use like 45 seconds. And they recorded 5, 7, 8 minutes of this whole thing. And they're like, we only have about 45 seconds during halftime to play this on the Jumbotron thing.
Oh, I didn't know it got played on the Jumbotron.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, we'll take whatever we can get. I think it was 3 days before the game. I get an email and a phone call from their media team, and they're like, look, we know we said we'd give you 45 seconds, but when we pitched this and we showed the video to the higher powers, I guess you can call it, they said, do not cut a single second out of this.
Wow.
You're playing the whole thing. And it was cool because Pops was in the audience. And then next thing you know, there's probably about like 2,000 people who are sitting there watching the story, watching this interview, like on the Jumbotron, all 4 screens surrounding it. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's, in a beautiful arena, and then have it end,
Yeah.
With pictures of his son.
Yeah.
It's a good video.
Yeah. It sucks to lose him. It definitely hit members of the community. It hit a lot of people hard, and there's a lot of people still struggling with the fact. But when we take a step back and look at it, I say he's finally reunited with his son, and they're in the halls of Valhalla drinking their beer and riding their motorcycles together, which is brother. What Pops always wanted.
Yep.
So it sucks. It hurts, but Pops was huge inspiration, very influential on the organization and everything that we do.
Yeah, he was there from pretty much the beginning, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
oh yeah.
So we'll keep it going in his name.
Definitely. So this is for you, Pops.
Yeah, man.
We love you, buddy.
So, besides that, we got a lot of crazy ass stuff going on.
Yeah,
with the organization.
There's been a lot. This week has been a very emotional week. It's been an emotional roller coaster.
We're down on the Pops part, and then and then we're also still kind of feeling the loss of Larry.
Yep.
And then the next day we're kind of freaking out because we're coming up with amazing ideas that are actually like coming to reality.
Yeah.
Like they're not just like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. Like, no, like let's go do this. And then bam, suddenly it's happening. You're like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Yeah. We went, so I'm not going to disclose right now, but we went into, it was the same day that we found out that Pops had passed. I wasn't even going to go to this meeting because I was just feeling completely and utterly emotionally drained.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to exert any more energy. And I was going to pass it off to Nick and Monique and say, here, go ahead and handle this. They were going to go regardless. So when I got home, I was talking with Allison, and she was like, maybe you should just go. Maybe it'll be a good distraction. And then I thought about it, and I was like, because of the meeting and the demographic the meeting basically got involved, Pops would have been upset if I didn't go.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll go.
You didn't know what to expect. Work just because of the loss, right?
Right. Didn't know what to expect. And we walked in there and we gave our presentation and put out on the table what we wanted to do. And the receiving end of it was it was met with excitement. It was met with a whole bunch of motivation and passion. And and yesterday we sealed the deal. And we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah. Oh, so we're going to talk about it though. Right?
Oh, we're definitely going to talk about it. This is
we don't want to be a tease,
So I'll admit this is huge for the organization, but it is also huge for me on a very personal level, and I'll explain why.
All right. So before we get into that, how's it been? Watched you guys' live performance the other day. Some pretty cool, fun people on there.
Yeah.
Monique is apparently my stand-in when I'm not here.
Yeah.
She's a great job, though.
Yeah, no, she is awesome. She is absolutely amazing when it comes to doing the interviews and the questions and just being there to, pick up your slack.
Yeah. I really didn't have any complaints. I was like, well, it's good to know that we have a third person so that way we can still go do the things that we want.
It's good to know you're replaceable.
I mean, everybody's replaceable, man. Everybody's replaceable. Really, with the music.
Gotta love the sound effects.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, live was a good show.
Yeah,
that was enjoyable.
And then we got our awesome producer in the background working some crazy technology. Everybody, give it up for Nick. Yeah, as he presses the buttons for the cheers himself.
to cheer for himself.
New mics, headphones, cameras are looking great. Audio quality is definitely getting up there. Putting in some massive work. Thanks a lot. I love this shit. So that's fun. And then let's see. We've had an excessive amount of people coming to the organization wanting to offer, leads.
Oh yeah.
On some awesome people. We got
which one you were going to talk about?
Yeah. Well, we got the first one, which turns out to be a friend of yours that you served with, which was pretty cool, right? I was like, oh, small world, right?
Yep.
That's kind of the world that
we're going to have her on the show, actually.
Yeah.
Once schedules work out and all that stuff, we're going to have her on. Does a lot of great work at the VA and very, very influential when offering advice. So I think she can definitely help out a lot of veterans.
I think it'll be cool to have somebody from the VA on because there is this, I don't know if the word would be stigma against the VA.
Oh, there is.
Just to understand like that the people that are working at the VA, they're following policies.
Exactly.
All right. They do want to help. A lot of them are working there for a reason.
Yep.
They want to help, but unfortunately, it is a government-ran organization, so therefore it has limitations on what it can do. Please try not to take it out on the people that work for the VA. But that's the whole reason why we exist, right? Is where they can no longer go forward because of their policies, we pick it up from there.
Exactly.
Right? So it has nothing to do with the people. It's just it is what it is, right? Part of the game. And then we also got introduced to Mr. Richard Hall, who is a published author and the chairman, I think, for a organization called F.L.A.G, which is an acronym for Freedom Loving American Guardians, that specializes through multiple states here in the U.S. As a mentorship program, specifically for those people who are dealing with PTSD, suicide intervention, you name it. And he wrote this wonderful book called Mentoring, Saving Lives. Let's say we'll go to that camera right there. Saving lives one person at a time. And the thing that I like about this the most is that it breaks it down Barney style, like you like to say.
Yeah.
All right. Because it's being wrote by a person who's not like a clinical psychiatrist or a therapist or anything. It's being wrote by somebody who's just been mentoring for 40 years, and can kind of give you some insight on what you might be dealing with. Because it's wrote for people who want to mentor, but it's also wrote for the family members of those who might be dealing with someone who has PTSD, which is another aspect, that we can't forget about, is that if we work with the families of those who come home as well, we can make something more conducive.
So could you say this is kind of like a guidebook almost? So if say, someone wanted to know more about PTSD and what someone with PTSD is going through, they could read this. And then
there are some moments in this book, and it's a quick read too, that kind of just made something very obvious.
Okay.
Like, I didn't really think about it that way. Like, you'll read it and some things will click, but it's good. And am I dealing with somebody with PTSD in my home when I'm reading this? No. However, just given the nature of the organization, it's nice to have this knowledge. So he was kind enough to send us these 2 copies of books. I already been mine. I delivered yours. I'll give this one to Nick if he wants one. But he's just a wonderful gentleman, just an absolutely wonderful gentleman. And speaking to him on the phone just had me in pure smiles because he's a man after my own heart. He embodies the stay proud, stay grateful. Every Friday he's out there on Red Friday when the weather's nice in his flag display. For Remember Everyone Deployed. It's super cool. Everyone's honking their horns, getting ready to go. The town supported him greatly, especially when he was, wasn't able to do it as frequent. So you have people in his town in Brooklyn that are actually coming out and helping him. I definitely want to get out there and help him.
I'm thinking we should do a mobile podcast episode.
I think that would be
go
awesome.
out there on a Friday, put in some personal time, and then we're going to go do some
He warned
America
us
stuff.
that it gets so loud we might not want to do that there.
That's fine.
Then you made a good point. Is no, we want to showcase.
We
how
have
awesome
the lapel mic or whatever.
Yeah.
We could just put those on and then hopefully capture some close audio.
Yeah, it's just bikes revving, horns
Exactly.
honking and
Let's
stuff.
do it.
But it was great because he said talking to us, he was saying that just kind of shows he's got a little bit more work to do. He's a Vietnam vet. He was a communications guy, from what I think I can understand. And he said he supported them while he was in country, and that ever since he's left, he's never stopped supporting those guys.
Really?
So it was an honor to get to talk to him. I'm looking forward to him.
I can't wait to read this. I mean, it does look like a very easy read. So.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to say it's simple, right? Because that's an overstatement. I want to say it's relatable.
Okay.
All right, the way you're right. Like you said, you're not reading a psychology textbook. You're reading, something that's very relatable, and having it touch upon putting a good foundation of a support group together for an individual is really important. My wife, with her recent psychology degree, had a report, I think, that she did on the outcome difference of those without a support system and those with a support system when dealing with these same issues. And those with a support system have a tendency to do a lot better. So,
yeah, as I'm just kind of thumbing through the pages here, I'm looking at this, and then it just kind of sparks the idea of, after we're done reading it, is maybe passing it off to people like Allison, who they have veterans in their organization, but they also have civilians who come in and help with events, and they're around veterans and stuff. So maybe something like this would be a good read for individuals in like Team RWB, because if you have someone who might not be as, I don't want to say educated, but as aware as to like symptoms of PTSD, this kind of helps them and puts stuff up on their radar, right? Yeah. So it just makes them more aware of what someone who served might be going through. So
and he even talks about this, the things of like, be careful what you say when you're mentoring, like understand like what your role is in this. And then he does sell the book. He said that anybody who's a Blue Star family automatically gets one for free if he meets them, and that if is it Blue Star or is it Gold Star? There's one for deployed.
Gold Star.
Gold
Gold Star is when they had a family member who was KIA.
Yeah. Okay. So it's Blue Star families then, I guess, is what he was referring to. So when they come home, they have this book to read. But whenever he sells it, that all the proceeds, with the exception of what goes to the publisher, because that's how they make their money, goes to the Matthew Payton Foundation, which is a lot kind of like what Pops was dealing with at the time.
Okay.
And it was a father who started a foundation in the name of his son. And so a lot of this goes to that.
Okay.
I believe, though, that he lost his son due to suicide. Hopefully I'm getting that right. But so it goes to the foundation to help prevent that going in the future. Bring that 22 number down as much as possible. So, yeah, we're meeting people like that. We're getting awesome leads and stuff. And I'm getting pretty excited that these are listeners, too. Mm-hmm. Like, this is our audience. This is just random people out there. These are people that have been listening to the show. Some of them military, some of them veterans, some of them just civilians. And they're like, hey, I know a guy. You should talk to him. Or I know this lady. You should talk to him.
Yeah.
So.
And that's how the contact came through with the person that, I was in the service with, is she was talking to someone that you knew or was friends with you or something. And then they were like, oh, contact, Seth from Cover Down podcast or whatever. You can be like a great contact. And I think she was looking around, and then she noticed my name. And then it finally just clicked.
Like, wait a minute.
The light bulb just came on, and she was like, wait a minute. I deployed with Doug.
Yeah. I remember him from the sandbox.
And what was weird is that day that was happening is I had taken my phone out of my pocket, and I guess a message was just sent to our Facebook page, and my thumb hit it. Well, I opened it up, and it was on her message. And I'm looking at it going, did I send a message and not realize it? Like, for a hot second, I'm like, did I black out and just
blame the TBI?
Like, how did this happen? And then I started reading the context of the message, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then I talked to her on the phone, and she explained how this whole thing just came about.
I think I responded with, Doug's currently searching for the pickle that he dropped behind the couch. He'll be with you momentarily.
Yeah. And then when we talked on the phone, she asked me if I found the pickle. I said,
I love these sound effects.
I was like, yeah, I found it and I ate it.
That's awesome. It had some lint on it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's super cool stuff that's going on. Hey, can you get the super cool counter going?
Yeah, that's twice already.
Yeah. You can count that as a third time too. I'm sorry if I'm overburdening you. And then
I only have so many buttons over here I can play with.
So many buttons.
I only have this many fingers.
This many?
This many.
Yeah, like when you didn't assign a number to it. You just
count.
held up your
He's
hands.
like, I got this many.
I got this much. This many.
I'm this old.
So what else have we been doing? We opened up the Guardians of the Purple Heart Rhode Island chapter.
Oh yeah, Rhode Island is
which isn't just one guy,
hot.
right? They have their official their board as you call it. They have their official board.
They have their board. They're soliciting for more people to join the team.
Yep.
They've only been established for like 2 weeks already, and they already have a meet and greet lined up.
Yep.
Donations are coming in. Raffle prizes coming in. These Rhode Island they came in like a ball of fire. And it is just absolutely amazing with what they're doing, what they've accomplished so far. It's just. I still can't get used to it. Right?
I still can't get used to the fact that someone from the Coast Guard can actually do something. Right?
Well, you guys just need to hug it out. You guys need to hug it out. No, Sean does have a really great team of people, and he's doing a fantastic job with setting the standard, setting that bar high, and then holding people accountable.
High energy levels coming out of Rhode
It
Island.
is way high.
They are
energy.
revved up and ready to go. And just talking to the guys in the last meeting, it's like, you found the right people for this group. They're ready to go.
Yep. When he presented it to Nick and I about opening up Rhode Island, it was like, he said, I already have a team. These are what they're going to do. These people are going to be put in this position here. And we were like, okay, let's do it. Right. I fully endorse it. It's a really fantastic idea. We did not think that they were going to get the green light and then just walk up to every door and just kick it down and just be like, hey, guess like what? We're here.
Okay, we vote yes on this. And they're like, okay, good, because we already kind of started this.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah. I mean, they got pamphlets, they got business cards, they have a donation link set up. They have their Facebook page going. They're making sure that they really just bust into Rhode Island and just let people know that, they exist, which is fantastic, because then we can just start helping the combat wounded community up there.
Yeah, they're doing hardcore grassroots campaigns. And it's awesome. I mean,
they're bringing it back old school too. Is what I love.
I know.
It's like they're bringing that new school mentality with like Facebook and all that. But I mean, they printed out like 150 flyers, and after one day, they said, I think I only have like 10 left.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Fantastic. Right? I love that old school mentality of just pounding the pavement and saying, "Hey, guess what? This is who I am. Here you go."
Yeah, it's pretty effective, especially if you can. It's one thing if someone sees an ad scrolling by, like on Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media you're on. It's another if you get a moment, even if it's 30 seconds, to talk to somebody, and then they're like, "Oh." And it'll just kind of stick in the back of their mind. And next thing you know, they could be walking down the street and being like, oh, hey, you said you've been wanting to volunteer. You should check out these guys. Or, hey, my neighbor is a Vietnam vet and has been struggling. Maybe I get him to call these guys.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's how we did it in Connecticut, like almost 7 years ago, is we hit the ground running hard with Facebook, but then we were also integrating ourselves into all these local events, whereas we were just setting up a table. And even if we didn't have a lot of merchandise or pamphlets or whatever, we were still out there talking about who we are, what we do, how we do it. And then that just generated so much traffic over from 2016 to 2017. It just generated so much traffic that it was just, the proof is in the pudding, right? You get out there, pound the pavement, do that face-to-face interaction, and it just means more.
Yep. And so because of that, we had some structural changes in the organization, right? You moved up to Supreme Overlord. What was your title again?
The Grand Pumbaa, as Sean calls it. Pumbaa. Yeah. I moved up to CEO, which I'm still trying to get used to. It's a little bit of a cultural shift for me.
Yeah, you got to stop trying to do all the work. You can't see the forest through the trees, man.
I know. And it's like I sent a message out to, like I was going to send it to the Connecticut group today and say, this is what I need someone to look into. But then I was like, I got to have Nick send this.
You got a person for that now.
So I sent the message to Nick and I was just like, look, you need to put this out to the group and have someone take on this action item because I need answers for this. And then he put it out. Right. So it's tough to, I'm trying to find that where that line in the sand is for me. Right. It's like I don't want to cross over into his territory, but at the same time, like I'm still trying to figure out like where I fit.
What do I do with my hands?
Yeah, it's like
Have Monique show you. First, you need to take them like this, and then go like this, and then just.
it's like that scene in Talladega Nights where he's sitting there at the interview and his hands just come up like this. And then like someone off to the side just puts it down, and then automatically it goes right back up.
Ricky, just put your hands down, Ricky.
Put your hands down, Ricky Bobby.
So yep, and then our wonderful producer over there took on the role of president for the Connecticut chapter, and then
No, I think a round of applause should go for that.
Yeah, I think a round of applause should go for that.
Yeah.
Or a party hand.
And then you, since my role moved up, and then I appointed Nick as president, that left the role of vice president open. And I always like to do like lateral transfers in the organization, have people move up into higher roles and take on more responsibility. And I put it out there, who wants to become VP? And a couple of people had nominated you.
Yeah, I did not nominate myself.
Yeah, there was a couple of people who messaged me, off to the side and was like, "Hey, I think Seth would be a great vice president." And I always asked them why, right? Because they could say like,
that was my response, right? Just crickets. I don't know.
It's not that I need a reason. I want to know why they think that you would make a good VP. And people brought a lot of great points to the table.
I don't know what those
nobody
points
else
are.
jumped in though, and
I
that's
can't
the thing. Like
validate them.
nobody else decided that they wanted to take on the role. So it was
So you say all these nice things, then tell me I win by default.
you win by default.
It's the most backhanded compliment I've ever heard.
No, I'm kidding.
That's like calling my kid over there my favorite oldest child.
Well, she is your favorite oldest.
And she's also my only oldest.
Big Tune is my favorite
So by
child.
default,
Big Tune is my favorite child.
yeah, Nick's my favorite child.
Granted, he's my only one, so he wins by default.
I see your fingers hovering over buttons over there. What chaos can he ensue with that board of his?
I had a comment, but it's not the place.
Not the time of the play.
Yeah. Yes. We're not going to say it now.
We gave you too much power over there.
Well, it's nice if I want to. I could just. And then nobody knows what I said.
We do have the bleep button.
Yeah, no one would know. What's that? That's hilarious.
So yeah, you moved up into VP, which is really awesome.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
that you brought a lot of great stuff to the organization since you were voted in last year. You hit the ground running, and you're always like, "I just do what I'm told."
I do just do what I'm told.
I know, but you have to look at it from a different level, though, right? You have to see it from my standpoint, and then seeing how the organization progressed from July, August last year up until like December, January of this year.
Sure.
So it was, a no-brainer.
I got a really good piece of advice a couple of years ago from an old boss of mine. He said, if you want to progress, start by doing what you do the best you possibly can.
Exactly.
So in turn, that comes with like, hey, I'm just going to do what I'm told the best I possibly can. Then once I'm doing that well, then I'll take more responsibility.
Yeah.
You got to know how to do your job first, right?
Exactly.
Before you start doing shady ops.
I'm not even going to ask.
Right? It's an old Radiman saying.
Yeah, not even going to ask. Just going to leave it right there.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, we got Richard Hall and his wonderful book and his organization that we're going to be talking more to. Then you got some cool news.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's just get down to it.
Okay.
Stop teasing me. Let's go.
Time to release the big news.
Let's sip on my coffee.
So, as you know, we talked about this the first episode, that this year we wanted to focus on brand awareness, expansion. We wanted to basically become that household name, right? So when, say, Purple Heart recipient or a veteran needs help or assistance, people are like, hey, why don't you contact the Guardians, and they might be able to give you a hand or point you in the right direction. With that, because we serve a very specific demographic, we have to get very creative with how we push our name out there and then how we do things. So we were kind of thumbing around with a couple of ideas, and my son actually asked me a question on the way when I was driving him and his best friend to his baseball clinic. He turned around and he was like, "Hey, Dad, you know how cool it would be if the Guardians sponsored the Groton Little League baseball team?" And he's like, "It would be even cooler if your logo was on the jerseys." And all of a sudden it was like idea fairy, right? We can do this, we can do this. So when we pulled up to the area where his baseball clinic was, I got out of the truck and I went and spoke to the coach. And I was like, "What do we have to do for sponsorship?" And he's like, "Oh, we have the levels and all this other type of stuff." And I was like, "All right, cool. I'll bring it up to the team." So he actually invited us to come and speak to the Groton Little League board of directors. And it was like 6 or 7 people, Nick, in the meeting. And this was the day that we found out Pops had passed, right? So this is why I'm saying like this was very emotionally draining for me. We walked in there not knowing what to expect. Like we didn't know what we were gonna walk out with, and if we were actually going to be able to obtain this. We spoke about the organization. We spoke about our mission, how long we've been here, and all that stuff. And at the end of the meeting, they were like, "All right." The president goes, "I'll see you on Saturday, and I'll have an answer for you on Saturday."
Nice.
Yesterday, went to drop my son off at baseball clinic, walked in.
Yesterday was Saturday.
Yesterday was Saturday. Yeah, for the record.
That means today is Sunday.
We do all of our recordings on Sundays.
Are you learning?
So when he sees me walk in, all of a sudden this dude gets like really excited, and he's just like, "Yeah, come on over. Let's talk. Let's talk." After about 5-10 minutes of talking with him, it was done deal. So we are now officially sponsoring the Groton Little League baseball team. I believe it's the senior division because that's the division that my son is in. But we are going to have our logo on the front of the jerseys.
Nice.
We are going to have our logo on the banners, which I believe is going to be at like 3 or 4 different fields. We're going to be in I believe we're going to be in the Mystic Parade with them as well.
Nice.
We're going to be assisting them with opening day. So if you would like to volunteer and you would like to actually come and help the Groton Little League baseball team during their opening day, which is April 15th, please just contact us. Let us know. We'll get you set up with our volunteer coordinator. And then you guys can come out and help us out. It's kind of like an all-day thing.
Yeah.
So if you can only fill in for like an hour or 2, that's great.
We'll put the
help.
information in the description below the video of where to specifically contact us.
Yeah. But this is huge because my son loves baseball, right? It's all he wants to talk about. And being able to take my passion, which is this organization, and then combine it with his passion. Now, everyone knows Nick, aka Big Tuna, is part of the organization as well, and he does a lot of stuff for us. So being able to kind of integrate the two, it's just I can't be any more excited.
I got my kid in the studio here with us today. She's over there snapping pictures.
What, my kid or your kid?
My kid.
I was going to say my kid didn't come with me today, unless he hopped in the back of the truck and I didn't realize.
No, we have the beautiful Bridget with us.
Who's Bridget again?
Oh my God, we gotta do this again. It's my kid. It's my oldest daughter.
Oh, that one. Okay.
No, I just brought some random person. I found this kid on the street and I brought him in. That's
Believe it or
called
not,
kidnapping.
that's what I say when people are like, "Oh, your son is so handsome." I'm like, "That's not my kid. I saw him on the side of the street and I just
You
brought
just
him with
like
me."
yelp and push him away. Like, who the hell are you? Get away
When did
from
you get
me.
here?
But she's out here seeing what we do, snapping some awesome pictures, venturing in her to the beginning of her photography passion.
It's good.
No, it's super cool. I like it. Hey, there's another one.
3.
What was? No, it's like 4.
4?
I don't know.
We're gonna have to go back for the super cool counter because that's at least 3 that I know of.
But it's great. It's great. Hopefully, we're not boring the crap out of you, kid. But no, she's smiling. I think it's a sign of danger, like monkeys.
You're boring me already.
What do you want me to do, man? What do you dance for you? Dance, damn it.
Wait, you do have the button for the song, though, right? There you go. Make it stop.
Jam.
Make it stop. All right, I need to read this section about PTSD because that definitely gave me
It
PTSD.
left a mark. You're making my TBI worse. Please stop.
That's messed up. That's messed up. So yeah, this is another thing that we are doing for brand awareness and expansion is we are going out there and we're going to be just hanging out with Groton Little League. And the cool part is too is when we go out and go to games or we go out and help them with stuff, they said, if you guys want to set up your tent and sell merch, go ahead.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, wow, that is very, very generous of you guys.
Hey, I'll tell you what. We're getting some pretty good idea from the young people out there. I mean, even Bridget was suggesting some stuff this morning that was
exactly
like, oh, it's not a bad idea. Like, oh, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, why didn't we think of that? We're supposed to be the professionals here.
Right? No one said that. No one said that.
Again,
no one promised it.
It's just a bunch of idiots with microphones and an internet platform.
With technology we probably shouldn't have.
Exactly.
You were too busy thinking if you could, never stopped to think if you should.
Was that a Jurassic Park reference?
I think it is. Tell me you have a Jurassic Park button on there.
No, I'm going to tell you though.
You do. I swear.
Don't even get me started on the whole Jurassic Park thing.
What?
Please.
Dinosaurs are not real.
Oh.
You're welcome. You're welcome for that segue.
Dinosaurs are not real. Okay.
I'm just going to put my headphones down.
And I have a very solid argument as to why.
Oh, God. All right. Let's hear this. I mean, this is off topic from what we know where the topic is.
Okay.
Screw it. Let's go.
All right. So, first off,
we're doing it for the likes.
Here's my theory on the dinosaur bones. I think what this really is, it's just a massive scavenger hunt designed by scientists, right? So one scientist goes out and buries a bunch of bones and all this other type of stuff. They give clues within their science community. Someone goes and digs it up, and whoever gets to find it gets to name it. That's why we have all these weird names for these things that supposedly existed.
Like pterodactyl?
Exactly.
Because the P is...
Right. So here's why, though. How do we know what a T-Rex really sounded like when there was no one around to record the sound?
That sound came from a lion, actually.
Yeah, it was actually... The one in the movie was 13 different animals recorded and played back all at once.
But how do we know it was the T-Rex sound?
Well, I mean... That
you
was
don't.
It was kind
That's
of a
the
guess.
thing. It's a guess.
Well,
right?
in the movie,
so they're guessing that these things
they're not
existed?
archaeologists.
No, it doesn't matter. Nothing.
Science.
No, dinosaurs didn't exist.
And understand how their larynx cords would have worked. It's relative science. Well, you seriously just
Yeah. How do we know the T-Rex didn't sound like that?
Maybe from Land Before Time. Yeah.
Let's hear your T-Rex roar.
Oh, I got to eat the star leaves.
How do we know a T-Rex didn't sound like that? And yet everyone's depicting this big, huge animal in these movies as upset and angry and vicious. How do we know they were not cuddly like a kitten?
I don't know.
Maybe they're running around like this because they just want to hug. Maybe they're upset because they can't hug another T-Rex, right? But no, everyone thinks they're vicious. But
How'd that
nobody
go?
was around to record this.
How'd that
Tell
go,
me
Doug?
I'm wrong.
You realize
You mean to tell me that there was a caveman out there going, ooga booga, sound like this? No.
Can you show me that movement again?
Huh?
Can you show me that movement again?
Ooga booga? No.
No, I don't trust you.
I feel like you got your sense of science from watching dinosaurs in the 90s. Remember the TV show?
Yeah.
The Not the Mama?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the T-Rex, he's just got he's got a job as a construction foreman, you know.
How do we know?
His kid plays varsity baseball.
Here's the thing. How do we know? 100% sure. We don't.
How do we know that the P in pterodactyl should be silent?
Exactly.
Exactly. I think they need to remake that, but due to was it Home Improvement with dinosaurs instead? Yeah. Rawr, rawr, rawr.
Seriously, though, I think it's just a massive scavenger hunt for scientists, and the only stipulation was they all agreed on one rule, is that the end of the name had to be Saurus or Sor, right? Stegosaurus, Brontosaurus. Like,
Those don't even exist anymore. They keep changing the names of the dinosaurs. We had Stegosaurus, Brontosaurus,
I rest my case.
Triceratops. That's not a saurus, that's the tops.
Doesn't matter.
Now we have like Brachiosaurus.
Exactly.
Shit's not even real. Wow. I just want to put that pickle jar down and trust that it will never roll away because the earth is flat as well.
It's not flat.
We're moving on. We're moving on.
It's not flat.
Does that mean science is wrong?
Did you put something in my coffee this morning? Like,
I'm telling you, I don't sleep at night, and this is the stuff that like I think about.
Is this what happens when I go for a long period of time without talking to you? You don't have anybody to unload all this crap onto?
No, this is the stuff that I just think about.
Well, like,
Yeah. Speaking of animals, though, like I want my own rhinoceros for a pet.
Why?
What? Have you seen those things?
I mean,
It's
they're-
like a
they're
up armored
tanks.
unicorn.
You can saddle it with Molly strap all over it.
Yeah. I mean, that thing is like you look at
If you could mount any firearm to the top of a rhinoceros, what would it be?
it'd be a 50 cal or a 240.
I think the 240 would be the best.
But if you look at it though, you look at a horse and you look at a unicorn, right? And you look at a Humvee. It's the same thing. But then you look at a up armored Humvee and you look at a rhinoceros. It's the same thing.
If you were to assign a large animal to ride to each member or to each type of special forces, who would it be? Like if you were to be like, okay, we're gonna give the Navy SEALs like the hippos because they actually move quick, they're great in water.
No, I give them
Most powerful.
otters. They wouldn't
Otters?
ride it. They would have otters.
SEAL
Dude.
teams with otters. Wow.
You will never
Don't
crap
give me
your
crickets for
pants
that. That's just
harder.
a good idea.
Did you know that otters have like a little pocket
Yeah.
right up here? You will never
Wait, they
crap
have a
your pants
pocket?
harder than when you're rolling around and next thing you know, an otter pulls out like a 9mm, right?
just a digi camo Derringer. Just
That otter pulls out a 9mm and turns around and then there's a patch on it back that says "Stay strapped or get clapped."
just out there doing crazy ass little shit with his hands.
Yeah. He's got his little Kevlar on and everything, his little night vision.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Would the Army Rangers get lemurs? Just jumping at you sideways real fast?
Why not?
Why not?
Make it interesting.
Who would get the rhinos then?
I would have to say the Air Force. They need all the help they can get. Kidding.
it's because most of the
Wouldn't they just
never
get
mind.
albatrosses? Wouldn't it be something that flies?
No, I'd give the Air Force llamas,
pigeons.
no, not even llamas, alpacas.
alpacas. Yeah. I'd give the Army the rhinos because I was in the Army, so obviously there's going to be a little bit of favoritism there. Let's see, Marines.
We'll
Give
get
them
them.
hippos.
The Marines get hippos?
Yeah.
I mean, for amphibious assault, I would take a hippo for sure.
Not even that though. Like, imagine being an enemy, right? And then looking out the window and seeing a bunch of Marines on hippos just charging into your town.
While you're
That's
all
scary.
while you're all like behind a bunch of like white balls on the beach and being like, oh no, we put ourselves in the wrong position. Hungry.
Yeah. Either way, it's still going to be
I think the
scary.
Coast Guard would get
Pigeons.
no
They shit everywhere.
sea lions. Yeah, because they just don't actually do anything. So it just works well with that.
It's a slight dig at Sean.
Yeah, a little bit.
What is your like obsession with attacking Sean?
I think with Sean. Sean's a great guy. Does a good job. It's just the Coast Guard and all of the Department of Transportation. Department of Agriculture.
We are going to get demonetized before we get monetized.
Yeah, we need a cease and desist letter from the Coast Guard itself.
It doesn't
We just laugh
matter.
at it. You have no power here.
Our metrics are not going to matter because it's going to be like a reserve thing where it's like we meet those metrics and canceled.
And we're gonna get canceled because the Coast Guards can actually sit around all day and watch YouTube. The rest of us work. Okay. I'm sorry. I got him tucked away, ready to go. Moving on. We love you, Sean.
Moving on.
So we got the Groton Little League stuff coming
Yep.
up. That's awesome.
That's going to be huge for us. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Mr. Richard Hall.
Yep.
We got your friend coming on the show. Future dates. If anybody's got any ideas out there, or some people of interest that you might think would jive with what we're doing here on the show, hit us up. Let us know. Like I said, we're receiving requests all the time. That's how we're getting our content ideas.
Yeah. We're also going to be bringing on a bunch of remote people as well. We have people in other states.
We have the
and,
ability to do
part of
that.
the country who want to come on the show and who want to support and sponsor us and whatnot. So we're going to be bringing them on and doing the interview that way. They're going to be in there wherever they're doing the show at. But yeah, we'll bring them on remotely.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of stuff.
Saying
going
other
on.
countries,
Maybe.
Ooh, that's what's up.
I know who's watching from Puerto Rico.
I do too. When I was in Japan, hey, if you're in Japan, man or woman, that's what's up. Thanks for watching. So what else we got? You been up to? Do anything else lately other than just working on Guardian stuff?
Just working on Guardian stuff
same
mainly. The past couple of weeks, it's been expanding into Rhode Island, getting everything set up with that. And then in the interim of everything, we were dealing with Pops taking a really, really bad turn for the worse. Because one day we found out that it was like he had 6 to 8 months. And then they took him off of his treatment, and then because it wasn't doing anything, and then it went from 6 to 8 months to matter of weeks.
Yeah.
And then it went from a matter of weeks to he's gonna not last another 72 hours.
Yeah, it was very sudden.
So it was it hit hard and fast. So it's just been being that support for the community as well, because they obviously know that he rode with us. He was part of the Patriot Guard riders and stuff. So it was, when it happened, I do have to talk about the community that we have basically formed with this organization. So the day that it happened, I was in my office and there was a senior chief, like an old cop that I knew from a different boat, and somebody else. They came to my office just to make sure that I was all right.
Wow.
And I never asked them. Like, they just messaged me and said, "Are you at the office today?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing paperwork." And next thing you know, there's like a team of people that just come in. And I was in a meeting with my boss, and they just come walking right into my office, and they stand there. And she's like,
brothers and sisters
"I'll
out
leave
there.
you guys to this." And one of them came up, and he was like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And he's just like, "All right, we just wanted to check up on you." And I was just like, man, just the community that we have built, it's very heartwarming to know that even if you don't say that you need, to be checked up on, someone's going to do it automatically.
Yeah.
So it was very heartwarming to see that.
How's 3D printing going lately?
It's going good.
Yeah, you printed me an awesome freaking giant stomping robot, and I love it. I'm sorry, I already knew the answer to the question I had. So you printed me this beautiful print of a battle mech from like one of my favorite things ever, from series of books and tabletop games and stuff like that, because everybody knows how much of a giant nerd I am. The only problem is that you can never get these figures more than like 2 inches tall.
Yep.
So I just wanted a big one, and you came through so solid on that one. So I was like, oh, I love it. So
I love it.
Home on my desk right now.
Mike, who does our webpage in the organization, best friends with him for over 30 years. He got me into it. Yeah. And him and I are constantly going back and forth.
Yeah, like, you guys made this beautiful friggin'
Mike marquee. Did the beautiful, he designed it. He put, everything together and sent me the files, and I put them through the 3D printer and printed it all off. But
I love the creativity's flowing right lately. Yeah.
I love sitting there and just being like, okay, what can we create next? My brother messaged me, and he's really big into his aquarium. And apparently he has these lights where he can grow coral. But the problem is, though, it's like all these...
grow coral for?
Because he has a saltwater tank.
It's like having a pet rock.
I don't know. He just told me he has these things to grow coral and all this other stuff. I was like, hey, great, whatever. But the problem is these LEDs that he has to go into the tank or whatever cast so much light that even with his windows open in the daytime, it's just glowing blue throughout his entire living room.
What is he doing in there? We never know.
He's like, can you design a cover for these lights? So I spent, a couple hours basically designing a cover that just slides over the light so it blocks the front so it doesn't come into the living room. So hopefully when I go over to his house today for my niece's birthday party, we're going to see if it works.
Growing coral, that's a thing, folks.
I mean, if you can do it with lights for the betterment of the tank and the environment for the fish, why not?
I don't know. I get a goldfish. It either works out or it doesn't. But either way, eventually it ends in the toilet.
I feel bad for every goldfish you come across.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Nick, you got some fun stuff for us?
Yeah, Nick has something he wants to present.
How hard do you want to start?
Ooh.
So in case, all right, so let's just hold on. Let's just back up for a second. So Nick is going to be asking us, would you rather questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So just so you have some context to that question that he just asked, he's going to ask us, would you rather questions?
We'll start easy.
Okay.
Would you rather be in jail for 5 years or be in coma for a decade?
Say that one more time.
Jail for 5 years or coma for a decade?
Oh, I mean, what What kind of jail are we talking about? Just jail, period. Just imagine the worst.
Leavenworth.
Wow, breaking big rocks into little rocks. I'd rather be in a coma.
The gulag.
Right? Also, so if you just suddenly unplug for 10 years and come back, I mean, you're not going to notice a difference, hopefully. You're just going to wake up and suddenly it's 10 years later. One, think how much shit you can stream and binge watch to have 10 years of content. Suddenly, like
You're not wrong.
You know, like there's going to be so many bands that have new albums that are going to be out. Like, oh, they dropped 3 more albums since I've been out. What else you got?
Be forced to sing along or dance to every single song you ever heard. So you either got to sing or dance.
Oh, I'd rather dance. My kid's in the background right now filling out her own adoption papers.
He jumps in the fireplace.
I'd rather sing. I have absolutely no rhythm.
No?
So I'd rather sing.
Ah, that's the best part
Yeah.
about dancing. You don't have to have rhythm. Just make it look ridiculous and have fun.
Now you say that, but at the wedding reception, you sang 0 karaoke songs.
Exactly, because I don't sing and I don't dance. But if I had a choice
He just broods.
of which one I had to pick, I would pick that one. But since
200
I do have a choice, not going to do either.
For 200 subscribers.
I will not do it. You can stay at 199.
Doug's gonna sing Barbie Girl.
Oh my!
Oh no! If you really want, I will post the video of you doing the Macarena. Actually, I'm going to send that to you, and you can turn that into a YouTube short.
Wow! Shots fired.
Time out. There was copious amounts of adult beverages involved.
Again, sounds like a you problem.
That's not even fair.
Okay.
Oh God, we started something.
I
we
have 3
shouldn't.
cameras.
Okay,
I will get footage.
I know.
For 200 subscribers, we're gonna catch Doug singing in the bathroom.
If you were just hanging out with
Shower.
Bridget and I last night, we were dancing in the cars to Aqua and Hanson. Yeah, that was fun.
When Hanson comes on, you have to sing, especially when Bop comes on.
Hell yeah, man! It was awesome. It was like,
song.
Our car, and all our kids, and then Bridget was in the car with my sister, and we were all just getting
How'd that go again?
like this.
Okay.
There's some more. Seth, do your awesome dance moves.
No.
What else you got? Give me another one.
Would you rather have uncontrollable dandruff or uncontrollable body odor?
Ooh.
All right, what do you think about this one?
I'm gonna go dandruff.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with dandruff too.
I don't want your Parmesan cheese all over my meal.
I don't want your bologna and onion sandwich stench coming in my direction.
I'm just saying, you know, I can just wear a hat.
Exactly.
It's not like it's snowing out of my head. It just never stops. You make it sound like it's that scene from Edward Scissorhands where he's just
yeah, but then you get that scene from Seinfeld where they can't get the BO out of the car.
oh.
Universal respect or unlimited power?
Pass.
CEO of a nonprofit, universal respect or unlimited power?
Go with
This is
the
your
respect
application.
because you
I
can
would
have
go
a
with
lot
the
of power
respect.
with the respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go with the respect.
I'm gonna have the power.
I don't.
That's
you don't
it's a
need
very political answer of you, CEO.
no. Because if you have the respect of people,
Just
then
love me.
if you have the respect of people, in essence, you do have that power that comes with it. And if you don't have the respect of the people, then you have nothing at that point.
You have any ones that aren't so deep?
Yes.
They're just not appropriate for the family show.
Yeah, I've been trying to skip. Would you rather have everyone be able to read your thoughts
Pass.
Next one.
or have access to your entire internet history?
I would have to say my thoughts. Like, don't give access to my thoughts.
You'd rather have people see what you search?
I don't care. Don't matter to me. I don't search weird stuff. I have other people do it for me.
I figured out my job now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
No, do not access my thoughts. Nope.
I don't know.
I just
Shit
went on
that
a
I think
5-minute
might
tangent on
be
how
up.
dinosaurs did not exist. You really want to access the
See, that sounds
archive of
entertaining, though.
the deep dark web in there?
I don't think anybody wants to be in this head. No.
Would you rather Groundhog Day?
Or Groundhog Day.
What are
Welcome
the
to
choices
Down,
again?
guys. We're back in the studio.
Intro!
What are the choices again?
Groundhog Day or...
Groundhog Day, or to skip 3 years of your life.
Oh. What do you mean? Like, so I...
So, like, you
repeat
decide right
the
now,
day. Yeah.
every day, or from right this second, you miss 3 years.
Oh, I mean, I'd rather miss 3 years than keep going than just be stuck in an infinite loop of Groundhog
Do I
Day.
know it's Groundhog Day, so I know for the rest of my life I'm going to be reliving the same thing over and over?
Yeah,
or
we're
is
like,
it
are we
just one of
doing a
those things
Groundhog's Day
where
movie thing,
I'm
or-
completely oblivious to it, so when I wake up, the next day feels like a brand new day.
References notes.
Enhance. Okay, so we'll narrow it down a little bit. Groundhog Day for 3 years, or you just
Skip 3 years.
skip 3.
Again, I'll go back to my next my previous question. Do I know it's Groundhog Day? So I know going into this for 3 years, I'm reliving the same day over and over.
You don't know off the bat. You can figure it out, but that's up to you.
I think I just skipped the
Do
3
I
years.
age that 3 years?
Yes.
Oof.
I would have to say Groundhog Day.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd skip
Think
3
about it,
years.
though.
I would
Think
rather
about it.
just skip the 3 years knowing that I'm just going to live the same day over and over again for 3 years.
Think
You're
about
gonna,
it, though.
You're going to talk a lot. 3 years of the podcast, and none of it's going to get
But if I
recorded?
figure it out, though, then that means
Well,
I
hold on.
have 3
It all
years to do
depends.
something different every single day, and it's
Because
not
if,
going
like,
to change anything.
If Groundhog's Day is also the day like the winning lottery numbers are drawn, you know, then maybe,
See,
you know,
You get to keep the money. If it happened,
if you time it just right, because if I figure out the fact that I'm in Groundhog Day and I time it just right, then when my 3-year stint is up, I can play the numbers, hit the lottery. Groundhog Day is over. Guess what? Doug's living in Bora Bora.
Yeah, but do you like pick up where you left off that day, or are you 3 years in the future?
Well, I don't know. Consult your notes.
Man, it's Google. I don't know. All right. A paper cut every time you turn a page, or bite your tongue every time you eat.
oh,
Paper cut.
oh,
Paper cut.
I don't know.
I like
That's
to
a
eat. I
lot.
don't like to read.
I was like, you don't
Easy
read,
answer.
so
Easy answer.
Yeah, I guess I could just go to.
And then I could wear gloves. Boom.
No, it's gonna happen
you,
regardless.
yeah. I feel like the paper cut's still gonna happen.
Yeah, I pick up like a Kindle, press the button, paper cut. What the fuck? It's, reads menu at drive-through. I think I probably go with the paper cuts. Yeah,
Sip gin with Ryan Reynolds, or shoot tequila with The Rock.
sip gin with Ryan Reynolds. Unless my wife is forced to be involved.
Ryan?
I don't know, probably Ryan Reynolds. But if my wife has to be involved, then I don't have a choice. I think we're going with The Rock. So she'd leave me if
I'd say Ryan Reynolds.
yeah.
I think the comedic factor is it will definitely
Yeah,
play a role in that.
yeah,
Who drinks gin?
I do.
Pepper's Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. You passed me my little casino game.
Something we talked about the other day at work. Who would you have play your life in a movie, and why?
Elijah Wood.
He spent 4 movies walking across a mountaintop.
I know.
You
He's
pick Elijah Wood.
he's about as boring as my entire life is, so it just seems fitting. But he also can be really weird.
I see you.
I would pick someone like completely unexpected though for me.
Danny DeVito.
No,
No, I'd pick like Kevin Hart or something because I feel like he's gonna be able to
Oh.
just like deliver it, but then everyone's gonna be sitting there going, "That's the dude who is supposed to play Doug."
the transporter.
Oh,
What's his name?
Who?
Yeah, Google right in front of us.
Transporter.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Do you? I don't think
guy.
you do.
That guy who drove the cars.
Yeah, with the accent.
who's also in the 97th Fast and the Furious movie,
Yeah.
where they go
Jason
deep sea
Statham.
diving
Good question.
in space.
Jason Statham.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Fast and Furious comes out what next month, following month,
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
whenever the car show is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The car show that we're doing.
The car show that we're going to be at.
Yeah.
come
Shameless
out and
plug
see
for
us.
car show.
So yeah, so they've done everything from steal a bank safe to remotely access a submarine to go to space.
Yeah.
What's this next one got in store for us?
They're actually renewing their license at the DMV.
Just 2 hours.
Just 2 hours of like foot tapping.
Yeah.
And
then it
panicking
cuts-
that their phone batteries
it
dying.
cuts to
Get
they
sent
don't have
back to
a
the back
charger.
of the line when they got
Yeah.
the wrong form.
It
The
cuts
Rock
to,
doesn't have
no,
all of his paperwork, so he gets denied.
No, he does. But it cuts to a scene of like him at the desk, and the woman's like, "Who is that?" And then Vin Diesel pops up, and he's like, "It's my family."
Sir, do you have any dependents you'd like to list? I only have family. I don't have dependents. That I think that just about does it for Cover Down episode 6, guys.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's been kind of a crazy week, so we're just trying to put something together to be a little bit entertaining and have some fun and shed some of that stress off we all have. Exciting things going on, some bittersweet things, but this is another episode where we come together and just try to laugh a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So in the future, look for us out at the different baseball fields around Groton Town, Groton City. Look for us on the front of some baseball jerseys. If you want to come out and help and volunteer, especially for opening day, get a hold of us, contact us, and we will get you lined up with our volunteer coordinator. It is an all-day event starting around 10 a.m. and go until probably about dusk. But if you can only volunteer for an hour, 2 hours, definitely let us know. And come on out and have a good time. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and if like we stated in the past, if you have someone who might be, an interesting subject or I don't know, in another organization, if you have anything to go, hey, look, I think this would go great on the show for them to talk about, leave it in the comments. Email us. Check the about sections of all of our social media from YouTube to Facebook. All right, there's a way to contact us somehow. Let us know. We'll see what we can do. We'll mull it over and see if it's something worthwhile for the show. Make sure you like and subscribe and share the show with as much people as possible. We're growing a lot as of right now.
I think we're at like 122 or 123.
Something like that, man.
Yeah.
We're just...
You picked up a lot of
Oh, wow.
subscribers.
Yeah, it went up from the last time. Like, yeah, so we're 123 subscribers thus far. And if we go for the amounts, we're... let's see here. Lifetime. Would you stop with the crickets, man? We're almost at 250 hours of watch content, which is
Good.
great. All right, because everything we're doing is a nice upward trend.
Yep.
The view count's going up, all that stuff. So greatly appreciate everybody sharing as much as possible. Please continue to do so. All of it will eventually, in some form or fashion, go towards this organization, or help give some airtime to other organizations that we like working with. So,
Exactly.
You got anything else you want to put out?
That's it. I'm
All
good.
right.
Let's get back to work.
We'll send her home. If you're out there in the world and you see us, stop by, share some ideas. We'd like to shake your hand. Thank you for your support. And as always, everybody, stay proud, stay grateful.